What's up guys, over here with a guide for the Maraudon dungeon in WoW Classic Hardcore. Navigating in the dungeon itself can be a bit confusing, especially if you're aiming to complete some of the quests. Now there is a decent amount of quests for the Maraudon. Some quests are completed by itself, you just looting the mobs, and by the end you should have enough to turn the quest in. There is a quest for the last boss. Here we're specifically gonna be talking about two quests. One of which is for Scepter of Celebras. Using the scepter later you can just do the last part of the dungeon. And the second quest is going to be prize instructions. This is the quest where you need to find 5 spirits, use the amulet, kill them, collect the gem, then you assemble it and you can turn this in. The reason we're going to talk about this quest, because this quest is actually changes the way you navigate inside the dungeon. When assembling the group, usually you're gonna see either full run with the quests or just a princess run. And the reason is because it takes a lot of time to get to Maraudon. It isn't Desolace, and whether you're Horde or you're Alliance, it's gonna take you some time probably to get there. Then the dungeon itself can be very long if you want to clear all of the bosses. Experience is decent, but I wouldn't call it great. In general, I would recommend your group being level 47 plus. Okay, let's dive into that. So if you're doing prize instructions, first you need to kill this mob, the Nameless Prophet. It can be near the entrance, or it can be, you can find them in other spots before actually entering the Maraudon, and you just kill this mob and you pick up the Amulet of Spirits. You need this amulet to then use on these spirits so they become hostile. So after that you can proceed further, and here you're gonna arrive at the crossroads. So there are 3 possibilities. You can go straight, you can go right side. The right side is gonna have these orange crystals, and then on the left side you're gonna see purple crystals. So regarding spirits, there are a total 5 spirits that you need to activate the amulet on. The one spirit is here. So if you're doing the quest, I recommend first going central part, although sometimes you can arrive, you're not gonna see a spirit, you're just gonna see the dead body, if we talk about the spirits outside of the dungeons, because they do have a respawn timer. So if you just see the corpse, you have to either wait or come back to this spirit later. Once you're done with that spirit, I recommend going the orange side of the dungeon. So in the orange, you're gonna see the Dryad, and this is the quest for the Scepter. So after you've picked up the quest, you can go further. You need to fill the vial here. Once you fill the vial, you can proceed. So regarding spirits, there are 2 spirits on the orange side and 2 spirits on the purple side. Obviously, one's in the middle side. However, keep in mind that orange side have 1 outside the dungeon and 1 inside the dungeon, and same for the purple side. So again, before entering the actual dungeon, be sure to kill the mob, and then you can enter the dungeon. So regarding the trash in the dungeon, be wary of several types of mobs here. First, this Barbed Lasher. They do from time to time a AoE stun. They drop everybody on the ground. Then these guys, you can just kite them. Sludges, basically what they do, they like doing a small AoE around themselves. So melee is gonna take damage. Then as you can see here, there are Dryad patrols. They don't pose any threat, but if you're already fighting the dangerous mob and you aggro a couple more Dryads, that's also not too great. Once you clear the part with the flowers, you're gonna arrive in this room where you're gonna see Noxian boss. This is Water Elemental, he's standing right there, and you're gonna see these packs of larvae. All they do, basically, they don't do much damage, but they do poison, and do not pull multiple packs here, especially if you do not have the good AoE. Once you clear the packs around the boss, you can engage the boss himself. His only noticeable ability, from time to time he will split into multiple small elementals. You need to kill him and then resume killing the boss. It sort of has a random timer. I've seen it sometimes that you can just kill the boss and he doesn't split. And then the other time we pulled the boss, he like split in 3 seconds or something. This boss drops a very good wand, by the way, and be sure to pick up the quest item from this boss. From this point, there are basically 2 options. You can run out of the dungeon, go to the purple side, and enter from the purple side. Or alternatively, you can continue going this route. So once you move forward, again, you're gonna fight more plant type mobs, more dryad patrols, and then there is an optional boss in this room. So you just kill him and you go further down the corridor and you arrive in the different part of the dungeon basically. Here you're gonna face different mobs. Also pay attention to these guys, these sludges, because they will, after they're dead, they will leave a puddle of poison on the ground. Make sure you don't stand in it because it ticks quite hard. If you like decide to stand in it, alt tab for 20 seconds, you're probably gonna be dead. Then there's gonna be a part with the demons. These are gonna be satyrs and like a small imps, and the spirit on the purple side is right there in those tunnels. So if you enter on the purple side, it's gonna be before the satyr boss. And if you're going from the orange side, you killing satyrs, and then you go in there and get that spirit. Obviously, if you need that spirit. Satyr boss is in the small room. Obviously, kill the pack before the room. And there's gonna be 2 more mobs stealthed by themselves on the left side and on the right side. These are separate from the boss. They will not pull the boss. The boss itself also has 2 ads. They're also stealthed, one here on the right, one on the left. How you're gonna kill the boss is completely up to you. You can focus ads, you can focus boss. Doesn't matter too much because the boss himself is not too dangerous. He's like rogue type. He will from time to time just jump on some players. You just run away from him. Be sure to pick up the quest item for the Legends of Maraudon. Here we didn't get the spirit on the purple side. So we have to now go here, get the spirit, and then we go back. You can skip some of the packs here, you don't have to pull everything. Spirit usually patrols to around like that area, where you're gonna see another pack of satyrs. As you can see, like we killing this pack of satyrs and the spirit patrols here. So yeah, once you go back to this slimy part, then you need to go lower. So if you're coming through this way, you can just jump down from this waterfall. And that was the way we came from the orange side. Here you don't have to pull anything. On the right side, you can just jump and hug the wall and you go left. So you kill that lurker and then you don't have to pull anything. So you hug the wall, you come here. There's gonna be a pack of dryads that again you don't have to touch. And then there's gonna be a boss. So boss already have a couple of treants with him and he will try to summon more throughout the fight. Usually in most groups you can just burn the boss. He's not doing too much damage, even with his ads. Once you kill the boss, his spirit will give you the quest. Then he will go to this stone, he will tell you some lore. You will have to pick up the next quest. If you get a pop-up that somebody is already on the quest, be sure to accept it. It was previously, I believe, just like 1 by 1 you have to do this quest. But recently they changed it so multiple people can be on the same quest. The problem is because this quest is like an RP and you have to click on the book. Again, he will tell you some stuff, he goes back. So if you're doing this quest for your whole party 1 by 1, it's gonna take several minutes at least. But once you're done with this quest, he will give you the Scepter of Celebras. This item will allow you to teleport to this point basically in the dungeon and you can just run the dungeon, the last part of the dungeon. So it's kind of desirable to have. That being said though, if you're doing Princess Run, only one person in your party must have the Scepter. because the scepter just like opens the portal and then everybody can go in this portal. Okay, so then you're jumping down in the water and you need to go to the cave. There are a couple of hydras. Keep in mind that they are patrolling their side, and also they do have the pushback. So be sure to stand the way that you don't aggro more. 2 should be fine, but if you somehow aggro 3, they can be dangerous. Once you kill the hydras, you can proceed, and there's gonna be 2 types of packs. There's gonna be these Maraudons. They doing AoE silence, so if you're a healer or a caster, be sure to stand at least like 20-25 yards away. Also pay close attention to the patrols here, because if you pull the pack with the patrol, it can be really sketch. By itself, the patrol pack is not too dangerous. It has 1 big rock elemental and some small rock elementals. This big rock elemental, he will also upon death dissolve into more small rock elementals, but in general you just AoE them down. So here, before you going up the ramp to the side with the giants, you can optionally kill the goblin boss. People usually skip it when they're doing just princess run, but if you want like max XP, you can go there. This cave will lead you down. There are several types of packs here. There are stone patrols, there are Maraudons, and there are these small snakes. Again, not too dangerous if you don't pull multiple packs at a time. Goblin himself, he's standing in this corner. He has very large aggro radius. All he does, he like spits fire on your tank from time to time, and that's it. Once you get back and you proceed towards the princess, obviously there is 1 more big rock boss that people usually kill. In this area there is 1 giant patrolling, and then other giants, they just standing on their stationary positions. But again, they're not too dangerous. Boss also doesn't do much. He can just knock away your tank, and also he have the ability where everybody gets stunned for like 8 seconds and he will just spawn small ads. Like you just standing there, ads are being spawned. But usually by the time he does that ability, he already like near death. So all you need to do is finish him off. As you come closer to the princess, you're gonna see this pack of 2 giants, and there is also a patrol here. So be on the lookout where patrol is. So princess herself, definitely the hardest boss in the dungeon. That being said though, she's not hard if you just follow the mechanics. First, from time to time, she will do like the channeling AoE, pushing everybody back. Then she can fear. There are also a couple mechanics connected to this AoE. So there she goes, the AoE. Now pay attention to the threat meter. Boom, threat is dropped. So tank needs to pick her up. If your tank is the warrior, obviously you can pop recklessness, you can pop death wish to avoid being feared. But the last thing, and probably the most important thing, I would say, is to not blast her when she casts the dust field. Because if she takes a lot of damage during the dust field, she can then deal tons of damage to your tank. It's like a thrash. Once you kill the princess, you can talk to the spirit, pick up the quest. There is optionally 1 boss. It's a crocodile that you can also kill. Usually the majority of groups prefer to kill him. You just basically need to jump into the water. The croc himself, he's patrolling around. There are also hydras in the water. So you can either clear some hydras, or you can just straight up pull the croc to like a safe place. So he doesn't do anything, but he hits the tank quite hard. And also what I would not recommend doing as a tank, because it's kind of weird the way it works in Classic, do not jump outside of water. Just stay at one place. Because I saw a couple of videos of this boss where like tank jumps and all of a sudden it seems like he's getting hit twice for whatever reason. So that's Maraudon for you if you're doing the full run. Again, usually after you do 1 full run with the quests, people just go for princess runs. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.